welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I've got an easy prep ahead crock pot freezer meal that I'm going to do for you. We've got some leftovers and I'm going to recreate this dish, and that way my husband later in the week, he can throw this in the crock pot at noon and have a home cooked meal when he comes home, and it'll be enough to last him a couple of days, and then I feel like I'm still taking care of him even though I'm not here all the time. That being said, if this inspires you to stay with me, go down in the description box below and look up the links that I provided for you. I've got my Facebook page. I also have my Wild Tree website where you can shop for all organic natural products to replace the chemical laden ones in your pantry. And let's go make a crock pot and prep ahead meal. Alright, so what we have going in this prep ahead crock pot meal is what's left over from 2 pork tenderloins that I grilled off with a little bit of smoke, and these got grilled to a medium. I don't like pork tenderloin. It can be a little bit less done than it used to be, but I do it to a medium. This, when it cooks in the soup, is just gonna fall apart. And so it's got that smoky, charred flavor. Delicious. About 3 to 4 cups of that, chopped up pretty rustically. I've got here on this plate, we had some grilled cilantro and lime buttered corn, and I've taken that off the cob, just 2 small ears. I've got 2 huge cloves of garlic roughly chopped, a jalapeno partially seeded. I've got 2 serrano peppers with the seeds in. I've got a red, a yellow, a green, and an orange bell pepper, all chopped up pretty, you know, chunky. We want this to be a hearty soup. And so what I wanted to do was show you what comes next. And I took a poblano pepper, which has got some spice to it, but it's just delicious. And I put it right on the stovetop and charred it off really nicely. And you can see I steamed it in this bag while I was cutting up all the other stuff. And now that charred skin just wipes right off of the pepper. You do need a paper towel though, and I just fold it another way so we can keep all the mess on this plate. And go ahead and see how black and charred that got. Just delicious. And it just blisters that skin off of there. Now, I have been known to put them back on and char it a little bit more, but I think this will be perfect. Just like that. And then we're going to dice this up in the same fashion we diced everything else up. And then we'll start putting this together. I'm also going to put in a large it's a 28-ounce can of medium heat enchilada sauce. And I've got a 14.5% ounce can of petite diced tomatoes with green chilies. So you can see this is just chili loaded, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. And I'm not sure if I'm going to add the quarter chicken stock or I'm going to have him add it. I'll see what my bag looks like. If the bag looks like it's going to be too big or too much, I'm going to have him add it when he takes it out of the freezer. So I'll be right back after I chop up this chili and we'll start putting it together. I've got a bowl here to set my bags. These are 2 freezer bags, and I put one inside the other. You can then reuse the outside one, but I'm going to put instructions on what to do the day that he decided to cook this. And so we're just going to start dropping. I did chop up a large onion as well, so I'm going to put that one in here first. And know that your vegetables are going to let off a bunch of their own liquid and stock, as well as the other liquid ingredients that we're putting in here. And now I've got my plate of peppers and garlic and corn, and it's just going to be a Mexican soup feast. And he can have this with cornbread, jalapeno cheddar bread, or tortilla chips, and pretend it's a tortilla soup. So nice. And then we've got our pork. I also want a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, because if we don't have enough chilies in there, my 28-ounce can of enchilada sauce. And I'm going to run a little water in that. Make sure we get all the goodness. That is going to really help spice up our prep ahead meal. I've still got to fit 4 cups of pork in here as well. So I'm probably going to have him add the quart of stock the day of. Because otherwise it's going to be just too much in here. I've got Wild Tree's fajita seasoning. I want a heaping. This is probably a tablespoon and a half. So let's get in another half in here. And I also have some chili powder. We want at least that much. Same amount. Okay. And then you kind of give it a little zhuzh around in the bag a little bit. Massage it a little bit. Whoops, gonna drop everything. Massage this around, kind of get the spices down in there. And then we're going to get our meat in there, and we're done. And I've made dinner in, what, I don't know, maybe a half an hour of cutting up stuff. And, all he's got to do is put it in the crock pot. It's pre-seasoned. He doesn't have to think about it, but he gets my home cooking no matter what. And I know it's healthy. He's getting, you know, ingredients that I've chosen that are, you know, preservative-free for the most part, and as organic and natural as I can do. Cooking from scratch, to me, is a no-brainer. It's less expensive, and it's very rewarding to know that you made this beautiful meal for your husband in a matter of minutes, and he doesn't have to think about what he's going to have or make, you know, bad choices because it's convenient. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to put instructions down in between these 2 bags. I'm going to put in the crock pot at lunchtime, thaw out the night before, put it in the crock pot at lunch on low, and it'll be ready for dinner. And then that way the veggies don't get overcooked, and to add the quart of stock. So there you go. Zip this up. Get as much of the air out of this as you can. You don't want anything to get freezer burnt. And there it is. Another delicious prep ahead freezer crock pot meal. All right. You can do it yourself. I do these all the time with Wild Tree and other women, and we get together and do 10 Wild Tree recipes, freezer meal workshop recipes, in about an hour. We put them together. They do all the prep work ahead, and you can do 2 weeks of meals, basically. All right, so this will be enough for him for 2 or 3 days, or he can have his dad over, and they can have dinner together. So, that being said, I'm going to let you go, and I'll, if you're not a subscriber, I hope you subscribe. If you are, and you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Go over and visit my Facebook page, and maybe head over to Wild Tree. I've got that link in the description box below as well. All right, I'll see you next time. God bless.